wie Allenstein muss ran gegen die Nummer 16 der Setzliste. Vielleicht die Entdeckung dieses Jahres 2017, zuletzt brillant auf der Pro Tour gespielt, 3 Halbfinals erreicht, ein Pro Tour Event sogar für sich entscheiden können. Er ist die aktuelle Nummer 51 der Welt. Herzlich willkommen, Rob Cross!
One last place up for grabs in the final day of the Happy Bet European Darts Open 2017 in its new home of Leverkusen. And will it be a happy home for the home nation qualifier, the last German standing, Robert Allenstein, taking on Rob Cross, who has been in hot form of late. The number 16 seed looking to fill that last 16 place. Or will the German hopeful leave the crowd happy? For those that enjoyed the commentary of 2 Australian aces, professional dart players, one of whom was in this tournament, Kyle Anderson and Paul Nicholson. Well, I hope you did enjoy it, and I apologise that it doesn't continue. You're stuck for the last match with me, Chris Murphy, and Dan Dawson.
Yeah, good evening once again. If you did enjoy Kyle Anderson doing commentary, I'm afraid he may never do it again, because that was an absolutely hellish game for you to make your commentary debut, wasn't it? Would you like to know how many missed darts at double we had in that game?
Not sure I would, but well, you might as well tell us anyway.
I'm going to tell you once I've figured out. I've got to get a calculator to work it out. 22 missed by Devon Peterson, 27 missed by Jelle Klaassen. Almost 50 darts missed at double in that game. If we get similar here, we'll probably finish up just in time to start the third round tomorrow.
First leg is Rob to throw first. Game on.
Well, Dan's finished with his calculator, and the Kirkulator gets us underway for the final match of this Saturday night. Rob Cross, heavy favourite, but he will be having to contend with a vociferous German crowd.
59.
Well, it might have played into Rob Cross's hands that last game, because although there was some drama there, they may have shouted themselves out ahead of the host nation qualifier Allenstein, the last German left standing in this tournament. But if he can give them something to shout about, Allenstein, let's call the whole thing off.
125.
And maybe he can use that to his advantage. Rob Cross had a very, very disappointing time of it last weekend in the Austrian Darts Open. Went out in his first game.
125.
And it was the worst I have seen him play. 6-0 he was beaten by Jelle Klaassen, just not at the races at all that day.
134.
However, it is one blip in what has been a stunning debut season in the PDC.
100.
For a man who is in the seeded positions.
Yeah, for the first time, isn't it, on a European Tour event? Or was it his first time last week?
It's first time this week, yeah. He beat Andy Jenkins in the first
93.
game.
So he snuck into the seedings for the first time. Let's see if he can live up to it. It was Jelle Klaassen who wasn't at the races
85.
today, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You require 90.
As Devon Peterson has stumbled through to the last 16.
Yeah, big Devon. If he can turn it on. Oh, he's gone double-double.
54.
Unable to find a double 18 that would have given him another dart on the same target. Now then, Allenstein. 57 off. 53 remain. Double 18.
I always
97.
do find it odd when a player
36.
goes to the board, hits the treble that they're going for, and then has to step back and check what they need.
Yeah.
No doubt what Rob Cross needs,
On the first leg, Rob
and
Cross.
not much doubt that he was
Second leg
going
is
to
Rob
get it.
Throw first. Game on.
Well, he's already got more legs than he did at this stage of the tournament last weekend in Vienna.
140.
Allenstein seeing off Dragutin Horvat, his fellow German, in the opening round. Won it 6-3 in the end. Not much in the averages. Only a point difference in the averages. Average 87, Allenstein. Started the match absolutely superbly. Kind of died away. There was a leg in the middle of that game where they both started messing around on doubles. It got very, very scrappy. The averages started to plummet, but Allenstein getting the job done and celebrating wildly at the end, as is his usual MO. In the brief spells we've seen Allenstein in action,
97.
has made the European Tour before, made the German Darts Championship at the start of this year. He also made one last year, the German Darts Championship
46.
final event of the year, where he actually won his opening game. And he did play in Sindelfingen last year as well, but that was a first-round exit for him. Been around for a little while, Allenstein. Played things like the German Gold Cup. He's played the World Masters a couple of times. Made the last 32 of the World Masters.
140.
Can't find a maximum, but he's down to a finish.
Yeah, just needs to find something to lift the crowd a little, lift himself. But it's Rob Cross doing some damage here.
180.
Big visit from Rob Cross, leaves himself a 2-darter. 85 remain.
83. Rob, you require 97.
So, the 180. Best setup he could possibly manage.
Will he go double-double? This time it's treble. And it could be trouble for the German.
Game shot on the second leg.
And it is 97 checkout. Great couple of visits back-to-back for Rob Cross. 2-0, break of throw. And Allenstein feeling the heat here in Leverkusen.
Rob Cross
55.
said he was dreading going out there because he could see the sweltering heat by looking at the brows of other players that had gone before him.
Well, Jelle Klaassen,
57.
I mean, he was perspiring so much I thought he might expire. In the end, his hopes at the European Darts Open have expired.
46.
Okay, he was Devoned, as was Richard North yesterday in the very last match of the night.
30.
Final day of action on the European Tour, as always, is as per the draw bracket, and we alternate. So Michael van Gerwen, last weekend, number one seed here, of course, he's always going to be number one seed.
134.
Order of Merit, the Pro Tour Order of Merit. But he was the first game on in Austria on the final day last weekend, as Cross looks to fire in another 180, and he does exactly that once again. Rob Cross producing a perfect setup shot to leave himself a 2-darter. Yeah, well, we flip the system now, so Michael van Gerwen will be the last game on tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, against the winner of this match. Which is looking like it will be Rob Cross.
The old Merv.
Game shot on the third.
Takes it out, a la Merv.
Roberts to throw first. Game on.
The Merv, an 80 checkout using treble 16 and double thereof. Bit more complicated
41.
than the Mensa, a bit more daft than the Mensa on some occasions as well. But Mervyn King is a man who put in a very good performance today and will be in contention tomorrow. He's going to take on Devon Peterson, who's going to have to raise his game if he wants to knock Mervyn out of this tournament. Rob Cross, though, is threatening to perform even better
60.
than Mr. King. 101.8 Mervyn King averaged earlier today in his 6-2 victory against the number 9 seed Ian White.
137.
And that's the same section of the draw. So the winner of probably
50.
Cross versus Van Gerwen would then take on the winner of King Peterson in the quarterfinals tomorrow night.
Yeah, they've actually revised that average up for Mervyn. It was actually it's 102.49 in the end.
I thought it looked better than 101.8. Right, Rob Cross hasn't missed a dart double in the match. So if he fires 2 in treble, 20.
Surely he lays up. Surely. With Allenstein
170.
back on 260.
Have some fun, Rob.
Academic anyway.
Highest checkout of the tournament, 161. Stephen
98.
Bunting and James Wade both today.
Yeah, Bunting in a winning cause against Stefan Siepmann, the other German we saw in action today. James Wade just
60.
still didn't have enough, despite the
162.
161, to overhaul Dave Chisnell, another man who put in 100 average today. Double 6. To continue the flawless doubling. That's exactly what he's done. It is 4-0, and this is the Rob Cross we've been seeing for most of the year. Not the Rob Cross who turned up in Austria and, well, actually didn't turn up, did he? Didn't win a leg, didn't look likely to.
Yeah, one of those was there but wasn't there scenarios for Rob Cross. Other confirmed last 16 fixtures then for tomorrow. Michael Smith, one of only 3 men to win a European Tour event this year. He takes on Daryl Gurney, who 8-180s in the afternoon's opening match. Dimitri Vandenberg, who knocked out Simon Whitlock, the number 4 seed, will take on Gerwyn Price. Peter Wright up against Stephen Bunting. 3 Euro Tour wins this year for Peter Wright. Plenty of darts like that from him.
140.
James Richardson taking on Dave Chisnell after Richardson saw Benito van der Pas early on. Chisnell beat James Wade, of course. John Henderson beat Kim Huybrechts and will play Alan Norris tomorrow. And Menzo Suljevic will take on Joe Cullen. I have to say as well, Joe Cullen and Devon Peterson and Stephen Bunting are in the same management stable as Rob Cross.
100.
Having a great day, aren't they?
Yeah, it could well be a great day for Nevada darts. It's certainly very impressive here from Rob Cross, who is currently averaging, well,
96.
around about the 104 mark.
124.
Yes. Now, you should look at the 16s here. Oh, and he hits it, 8-8. For a 1-2-4 checkout. The checkouts keep getting better. Oh, it's his first dart missed at a double. Not quite flawless.
Not flawless, but threatening. The second whitewash of the day.
Rob, you require 8.
First was Michael van Gerwen against his best mate.
No score.
Well, if you're going to miss darts at double for the first time in the match, do it when your opponent is back on 208. Because you know you're going to get more.
41.
Just the 41 from Allenstein. He is down to a finish now. 2-2. In the madhouse.
No score.
Well, it's a shame that Rob Cross has missed all these darts at double. Well, it might be a larger shame if Allenstein had taken that out, but just going to illustrate the point. You mentioned the 40-odd missed darts at double in the last match. If there'd just been 6 darts at double in this one.
Game shot on the 5th leg.
Well, there we go.
6 leggers from
And
Robert to throw
worryingly for Allenstein, he has only been allowed 1 dart at double by Rob Cross. I mean, it's not a bad way to warm up for a clash with Michael van Gerwen, one of only 3 players in the top 20 that Rob Cross is yet to beat in his professional career.
Yeah, it is one of those because he's yet to meet him. Is that Phil Taylor?
That's Phil Taylor. Phil Taylor is one of them. I got this wrong, actually. I pulled this stat out last weekend. There's a 180 for Robert Allenstein. Maybe there's some life in this yet. Yeah, I thought it was the top 3 that he'd not beaten, but it wasn't. It's his victory against
93.
Peter Wright on the Pro Tour the other weekend. Made it 17 out of 20, the top 20 he's beaten. But Phil Taylor he's never come across because Phil Taylor's not been out the same tournaments that he's been at.
44.
Not played the UK Open qualifiers, of course. Not playing the Pro Tour this year, Phil Taylor, the European Tour. So Rob Cross unable to meet him, but he could meet him at the match play, couldn't he? And he could worry him at the match play if he carries on playing this sort of stuff.
So it's only the top 2 out of the players that he's had the chance to play, is it?
Yeah. Now, what was Robert Allenstein going for there?
I have no idea.
I mean,
he has no idea.
What was that? Was that for treble 20? That was for 18s, I can assure you of that. 28 off, and that leaves him double top. But Allenstein, he's only had 1 dart at double in this entire game. Got to get a couple more now. Needs them both.
78.
Needed more.
Hasn't hit Rob Cross.
40.
If it wasn't for that string of missed doubles, it would have been the best performance of the day. Still pretty good. Double 10 to seal a 6-0 win. And he just can't get over the line.
The ash down for Allenstein. 1-1. For a leg.
4.
Well, the Volcano hit some heights yesterday in his win over Dragutin Horvat, but he sunk to some lows today. And Rob Cross to condemn him to a whitewash defeat. Oh, he goes on.
No score.
Well, it's got an air of the last match, the end of the last match yesterday, the end of the previous match today. Allenstein can't hit double one either. What on earth is going on? We want to go home. They want to go home. Rob Cross, send us all home.
There we go. He sent Robert Allenstein home without a leg to his name in this second round clash. Rob Cross through to the last day of action at the Happy Bet European Darts Open. He resumes battle with Michael van Gerwen. Catwoman celebrating, of course she is. And Rob Cross will be too. He'll certainly be celebrating if he can make it through to the quarterfinals once again on the European Tour, because Rob Cross will have beaten the world #1 for the first time in his career. That is a very tall order. Not many people do that nowadays. Michael van Gerwen, 7 tournament wins in his last 11 tournaments. Can Rob Cross stop him? You'll find out tomorrow. 8 third-round games on the way in the afternoon session, the quarterfinals, the semi-finals and the final to conclude the tournament in the evening. One more day left at the Happy Bet European Darts Open. MVG, Peter Wright, Mensur Suljovic and now Rob Cross will all be competing. Here is the last man through to the third round.
He never really got quite going, and I was all right at the start and then started missing a lot of doubles, so mixed emotions really.
Tomorrow Michael van Gerwen is waiting. You played him twice. It was very close the last time. It was in April, I think. But April is not the end of June, the beginning of July. You improved your game a lot in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think I play Michael tomorrow. It doesn't really matter who you play. You've got to perform anyway. So if them doubles go in, maybe got a chance tomorrow. So I fancy it. It'll be good.
We're looking forward to that. Thank you very much. Rob Cross. Steht im Achtelfinale. Ist der nächste Gegner von Michael van Gerwen. Sagte, klar,